Hi everybody, welcome to the Missing Gear. I don't even know what to do. No words.
How do you feel, Dylan? You want to make this a little therapy session? How do you feel? How
Well,
does that
Matt-
make you feel?
Well, Matt, it's like watching a farmer work his whole life. Till the land, fucking squeeze the titties, just work hard every day of his life, just every fucking day. And then you go and you see him. It's later in life, and he's actually getting somewhere. He's getting a little ahead. And then all of a sudden, some fucking teenagers shoot fireworks in the direction of his barn, and boom, all of a sudden, his entire farm burns down. And he doesn't have insurance. So now, he's just, it's over. You did all this work. You did everything you could. You did it the right way. You gave a shit about the whole season. And then Matt Kenseth cuts down your fucking tire in the middle of the race, and then you're stuck with these fucking bottom feeders in the back of the pack, and you got no speed anymore, and you're a lap down, and Timmy fucking Hill's getting the free pass for half the race, and your front end gets fucking smashed up, and you got no aero, and it's all over. It's all over, Matt. It's all fucking over. 7 wins. Not 7 wins. I'm thinking Hamlin. Because now, oh my God. 9 wins. 26 top 10s. 20 top 5s. Not a single DNF. 1,531 laps led. All for nothing. Nothing, Matt.
Dylan, I got a counter argument for that. I don't know what year it was. But remember when the Patriots went 18-0? They had a perfect regular season. Could not have done any better. And they get to the Giants. And they lose to Eli fucking Manning. Nobody said the playoff system was rigged. They said bad luck. Patriots they couldn't pull off a 19-0 season. That's how I feel about Kevin Harvick. He was so close to the perfect season. But he just couldn't perform when he needed it.
Matt?
And now hold on, let me finish my argument quick. I'm not saying that the playoff system is perfect, because I want to change it. Alright? But what I am saying is that you got to play the game. And Kevin Harvick isn't playing the format. Alright, he had a lot of points. A lot of playoff points, the most of any driver. And he still couldn't point his way in because of the 3 finishes he had. If he wants to be a caliber, a championship team, which he has been all season, he needed to perform those 3 races, and he didn't. I still think Kevin Harvick should be in the championship 4. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but what I'm saying is that a champion has to perform at a championship level all season.
And he sure as hell did.
And he did not.
He did.
Because he didn't make it to the playoffs. If he did, he'd be in the playoffs. He'd be in the round of 4, and he did not. So he did not perform at a championship
Man,
level.
I'd flip the table right now if the microphones weren't on it.
That's what I got.
Not cool.
My take on it.
Not cool. Dale Earnhardt Sr. got 7 championships. He won a marathon. Jeff Gordon has 4 championships. He won the marathon. Richard Petty has 7 championships. He won the marathon. Kenny Wallace had a great point. He said, when NASCAR decided to change our sport, they made it so that we could never compare the past. Championships mean nothing anymore, Matt. They mean absolutely nothing. They mean nothing. Because let me go through the resumes of the 4 championship contenders.
I already know it.
Denny Hamlin,
I know the rest.
Denny Hamlin
I already know the rest.
has the most legitimate case. He's got 11 stage wins. He has 7 wins.
I will agree with
Good on the Den for getting there. He's got 17 top 5s and 20 top 10s.
I'm not disagreeing. Denny Hamlin.
Kevin Harvick had 20 top 5s. 20 top 5s and 26 top 10s. Denny had 1 DNF. Harvick had none. Next, Brad Keselowski. 23 top 10s, 12 top 5s, 4 victories.
I think he should be there.
He should be there.
I
He was
agree.
the fourth best driver. I think Chase passed him this past weekend.
I
We'll
think
get to Chase.
I think in the playoffs, the last 3 rounds or the last 2 rounds, Chase passed him.
Yeah, Chase surpassed him.
Chase has performed in the playoffs at a level higher than I expected. I mean, I had him in the championship 4 because I just felt like this was his year to at least.
I thought Truex would just outrace him in the playoffs.
I thought so too, but obviously I was wrong.
I think Brad was the third
But-
best driver until about 3 weeks ago. That's when Chase
Won at the
happened.
Roval.
And we'll get to
Okay.
Chase right now. Chase has 21 top 10s. He has 14 top 5s. I believe he has 10 stage wins, although I didn't write that down. And he has 4 regular wins. So that's
Yeah,
bravo. He should be there. Joey Logano.
your man. He is your man, Dylan.
Oh, Joey. 20 top 10s, 11 top 5s, 3 wins.
He played the system, Dylan. He won a race.
He took a whole summer off.
He did. I'm not disagreeing with you. He showed up at the playoffs.
Yep.
Just like the 2010 Packers. They were
Yep.
6th seed. Wild card. They didn't have a great regular season, but they squeaked their way in. And
Okay,
they
Josh.
performed when they needed to and won the Super Bowl. Hold on. Now, let me back up a second.
Get out whatever point
Las Vegas.
Get out whatever point you're gonna say.
No, not Las
because I'm
Vegas.
gonna just
Kansas.
lose my shit in
Kansas.
1 second. Okay.
Kevin Harvick could have won that race, but he didn't drive better than Joey Logano. Joey Logano outdrove Kevin Harvick the last, say, 20 laps of that race, and Joey Logano won the race. And you want to know what? Joey Logano's in the championship 4. You want to know who's not? Kevin Harvick. Why? Because Joey Logano outdrove Kevin Harvick the last 20 laps of that race.
Take a draw of this bush light, and then you're about to meet your maker.
I would love to hear what you have to say, Dylan, but I'm confident in that.
What the fuck is wrong with Matt Kenseth in this track?
Oh,
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm sorry, but
I'm sorry, I thought you were going to talk about...
oh, that son of a bitch! That son of a bitch! What the hell's the matter with him? He cut down Harvick's tire, and I was just getting flashbacks to 2015 when he took out Joey. Granted, the Joey was a lot more blatant, but
And
God,
deserving.
there's something wrong with him at this track. I can't wait till he's rideless, or he's running for Go Fast Racing and he can't hurt anybody anymore. But God damn it, it was killing me. It was killing me. Deja vu. I was getting deja vu. 5 years later, and he comes back into my life, and now I thought we got rid of him. I thought he was done after he had that little stint with Roush driving the 6. But nope. He's back. He's fucking back, and he fucked me. He fucked me. I lost the predictions.
Yeah,
Yeah, I lost the pick'em.
you did. Yeah. I'm really sorry, Dylan. But I'm also not, because I won. And that feels nice.
I want to flip the table so bad.
Again?
I want to flip it. I hope you nail it down, because at some point today I'm going to... Oh. God. Let me quote Denny Hamlin. They wanted a Game 7 moment. My only issue is you can't just ignore the first 8 innings.
How
He
does
said it best.
that
He
make
said
no
it
sense?
best. The first 8 innings of the season...
Oh, like that? Okay. For some
It
reason, I'm
was-
thinking like Game 7 of like the NBA, and that's why.
Yeah, I thought that too, especially because
And I'm like,
it's
baseball. I'm thinking
Yeah.
basketball with Denny.
it's
and then all
like
of a sudden
Denny
it's-
Hamlin. It's fucking basketball. The band owns a team with Michael Jordan,
Yeah, I know.
But-
But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
but
at this
also
point.
Michael
But-
Jordan played baseball for about 5 months, I think.
Cool to know. Yeah.
Birmingham Barons, I believe. But yeah, I'm pretty sad. Pretty disappointed. I'm an all-out NASCAR anarchist now. I am just I want to see the system burned down. I want to see it burnt down. I want Ricky Bobby, you ain't first, you last system where no one gets points except the winner. The winner gets 1 point because he has 1 win. And then whoever accumulates the most wins at the end of the season gets the championship. If there's a tie, then we go to the points. But the points should be completely secondary to wins. Now let me show you something.
Totally disagree. 100%.
Let me show you
wholeheartedly
something.
disagree.
2010, Tony Stewart got 5 wins, the most in the sport. He was the champion. 2011.
What year was that?
2011. I might have said 10.
You did.
My
That was
bad.
2011.
I wanted to do the past 10 years
Yeah.
because I didn't want to do...
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I wanted to include Harvick in
Yeah.
this. He was the best driver. Now, it was in 2012, it was a 3-way tie between Denny, Brad Kay, and Jimmy Johnson. And Brad had 5 wins. They all had 5 wins. Brad won the championship that year. Matt Kenseth finished second. He didn't get the championship, but he had 7 wins. But Jimmy beat him. He should have been the champion. He should have been the fucking champion. 2014, Brad had 6 victories, didn't get the championship. 2015, we all know what happened. I brought it up a little bit ago. Joey won 6 races, got fucked, didn't get the championship because of Matt Kenseth. Joey was the rightful champion that year. 2016, justice was served. Jimmy, who won 5 races, got his 7th championship. Matt, you can be happy about that one. Martin Truex Jr. had his legendary 8-win 2017 season. He got the championship. 2018, Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick, 8 apiece. They didn't get the championship. Joey got his makeup for 2016. There's no justice in this world. Or, well, I mean, there's a little bit of justice. It's just delayed, and it looks horrible in the stats because NASCAR has ruined the sport. 2019, Martin Truex Jr. got 7 victories, didn't get the championship. His teammate Kyle did, and I think that we can both agree that that was just
A travesty.
travesty.
It was.
You see what I mean?
Out of all of those, I fully agree with that one.
And with more wins than anybody in the past 10 years, Kevin Harvick doesn't even get to go to the last race as a contender. Fucking tragedy. Honestly, NASCAR should just go the way of the XFL and just the France family should sell it to The Rock.
The Holy Rock. I would love them to sell the entire sport to Dale Jr.
He's almost got enough money. I looked him up. He's worth $500 million.
Yeah, I think Dale Jr. could do a better job than the France family. Now, I do like Steve Phelps quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Dale would probably retain him. But, I mean, like, okay, you have a $500 million net worth. Take out a loan for $500 billion. Yeah, it's a little bit of a gamble, but I mean, like, if you own the fucking thing.
Yeah, do whatever the fuck you want then.
I mean, yeah.
He wants more short tracks. I agree. I would love to see more short tracks.
Just mortgage everything you have, Dale, and save
the
our
fucking
fucking sport.
Buy the fucking sport.
Save our sport. Honestly, I want to go back to a chase system where it's 10 races, but we also have the stages where you can retain all your points.
I would love,
at the beginning.
Dylan, I would love to see this.
I would-
I think we've talked about this before. I would love to see this. We talked about this in 2 other pods now, 3 maybe. I liked the resetting of the points because it gave a little bit more of it's a little bit closer at the end. There's a little bit more of the game, quote, Game 7 moment. Not necessarily. I mean, in other chase formats, it's usually like a Jimmy has to finish above 15th place and he wins type deal. But with stage points involved in that entire playoff, that will be more exciting, and especially the last race where if it comes down to, hey, there's 10 points, well, if there's stage points between 3 drivers, it could definitely still be a Game 7 moment, in my opinion. But I don't like, and I've said this before, I don't like that that determines the championship, it's 1 race. I just think it's not
You run
fair.
25 miles and then everything
don't
just
think
stops,
it's fair.
resets, and you have to run the last mile at a complete
Yeah.
even.
Yeah,
It's-
I just don't think it's as fair as other formats that we've talked about. And I agree. I do think Kevin Harvick deserves to be there. I just don't like. I am not a fan of the most wins this championship.
And-
I'm not.
and at this
I think
point-
that's. It's because the game 7 moment. I think that, I just don't think that that's as fair because I think it needs to reward consistency just as much as winning, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, here's my thing, and this is why I want to keep bringing it back to this Kenny Wallace quote that came out this week. When NASCAR decided to change our sport, they made it so that we can never compare the past. How are we ever going to compare these drivers now with this single elimination or this single race format to determine a champion?
It's such different.
Kevin Harvick is going to finish with like one of the best average race finishes ever. He's got 9 victories. He's won more than a quarter of the season.
Yep.
And he's not even going to finish in the top 4.
Yeah.
In the playoffs or in the points.
Right.
And I mean, he'd be like 200 some points ahead of Denny Hamlin right now. If it was the regular chase format that we had, during kind of the Johnson domination era, Harvick would still definitely be a contender, I think.
I think so.
Because of his wins.
With the playoff points. More the playoff points than anything.
Mm-hmm. And that second
and what I want to
place
see,
finish.
What I want to see is I don't want each point or each position to be 1 point. I want it to be more of an IndyCar style, where if you finish first, it's 50, I think. And then if it's second, it's like 45. And then the points matter more. And IndyCar does that like NASCAR used to do. It's an entire season. Every race matters just like the next, and each position is so many points, and whoever has the most points at the end of the season wins the championship, right? Mm-hmm. I don't need to see that from NASCAR, but I want to see them go back to the old chase format of you've 10 races left, 10 races left to reset all the points. You have, say, 12 drivers. I think 12 would 16, whatever you want to call it.
Honestly, here's what I want. I just want top 10 in points. I'm fine with that because if
top
you win a couple of races and then fine. 2 wild cards.
Sure. Top 10 in points. 2 wild cards, 12 drivers. And then it's you keep your playoff points. You win a race, you get 5. You win a stage, you get 1. I'm fine with that. Right? It still awards winning in the playoffs if you can make it there. Then we don't have 2 or 3 drivers that really shouldn't be in the playoffs be in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Because there were better drivers than Cole Custer. Austin Dillon had a good playoff, but I still think that any other driver would be better than him. And William Byron's a maybe. He could probably been in there, but really the other 2 shouldn't have.
But now, Cole Custer probably would have got a wild card just off the top of my head. I'm thinking about it. But William Byron would have kicked
he probably would have
Austin Dillon out of the chase.
Absolutely.
He would have got that second wild card, which is a lot more justifiable.
Oh, I fully agree.
Here's how depressed I am, Matt. Just side note.
Hams is disgusting.
I have switched from Busch Light to Hams.
Disgusting. That is so
I bought
gross.
this because I'm supposed to get a free Hams glass with it. That's usually how I end up buying Miller Lite. I get a free flag. But they were out of glasses, so now I'm stuck with fucking Hams because I didn't want to walk across the store to put it back.
Hams is disgusting.
Well,
one, that's your own fault because you were too lazy to put it back. It's so bad.
Dude, it smells so bad.
I hate it. All right.
Oh, it's the spam of beer.
Hold on.
It's
so disgusting.
Meat of beer.
Disgusting. All right, back to my point. If you keep the playoff points, all right, and then roll into the 12 drivers, you have 10 races, and the stage points actually mean more. Mm-hmm.
You keep your little stage game. You keep those stages. I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with the stages, and you keep that,
but
and then
the end of race win should be a shit ton more points. You should be able to keep.
I don't know if it should be a complete shit ton, but if you switch to an IndyCar style, you would then really get like 10 points because if you got 50 for finishing first, 45, and again, I don't know the exact points for IndyCar, but I know it's more progressive. It's not.
You will next year.
I will next year because I saw. Different side note: Jimmy was running the 48 today.
The
test
48
driving.
kart, the IndyCar.
Yes, test driving today, and I cannot be more excited for that. But what I'm saying is 5 points. So you get 5 points for winning. then you get the 5 playoff points. Really, you do get 10 points. Theoretically, yes, you can debate that, but you do get more for winning then. And I like that NASCAR says you get the 5 playoff points, because that was the biggest thing that pissed me off about when they originally came out with this. Because I'm like, you could win, and like before, you could win every single fucking race in the regular season, and then crash out at the first 3 races, and you're out of the playoffs. And it's just stupid to me, right? It's just stupid. They switched it. They introduced the playoff points. I like that. I'm fine with it. I like the stages. I'm fine with it. It's more interesting to me, but there should be something changed.
Or at least just give a fucking auto berth to the regular season champion.
That's a good point. Do that too.
And or the win champ, the win leader.
I think I would be okay with either one of those.
I think there should be 2 and then the final 2 racers.
No, I think there should just be one. I think it's either the most wins or the regular season champ. I think regular season champ, I think it puts more emphasis.
Or if you're both, then that leaves 3 spots to battle for.
Well, I think it should just be one. Regular season champ gets an auto berth because it puts more emphasis on still running good in the regular season. Because there is, with the stage points now, but if you're Kevin Harvick, and I know he didn't have any DNFs, but if you say, you know what, I'm 20th, and I have a wrecked car, I have 8 wins, who the fuck cares, I'm just going to park it. Well, now you lost 20 points, potentially. Well, now you might go out and keep racing. And now, it might suck. You might have more shitty cars on the track, but I still feel like they're trying to improve their finishing position, and they at least are giving an effort.
I think that
there's a lot that can change. What I will at least say is NASCAR has implemented a lot of good things. Let's flip this on a good things. I know I talked about the schedule. Big fan of that, right?
Yeah, I don't have a single problem with the schedule. I have a problem with
the format,
their playoff
right?
format.
But another thing that I will say is good is NASCAR has listened to a lot of the feedback of the drivers, and the fact of like they introduced the choose rule, which I've been a big fan of. It takes away from drivers complaining about, well, I was stuck on the high side and it sucks. You pick it. If you're on the high side, you can't complain. That's where you chose to run. You pick that spot, right?
Yes.
So I like that. I've been a big fan of that, especially seeing how that plays out.
The only real problem we have is we can both agree
the
that the format needs not a major overhaul.
It needs some adjustments. And they adjusted with the stage points, which has been great. I know a lot of people don't like stage racing. I personally am a fan, big fan of the stage racing. I like it. I don't like seeing 20-second leads and then one car is on the lead lap. I think that's unbelievably boring. But there does need to be adjustments in the playoff format. I don't think... I like the idea of season champ automatic berth. I think all the other ones... go race for it, right? Go give her. You could have 3 then winners, and those 3 winners get in or whatever. I'm not overly a big fan of the win and you're in. I think it should really just be you have 3 races. Whoever finishes in the top 4 moves on. But I think then, like you said, there should be a bigger reward for winning. But I don't think it should be you win and you're in. I just don't. I think there could be a bigger reward, but I don't think it's an automatic. That's what I gotta say. We've talked about it enough.
I will say one last thing.
Yep.
That was like watching Mufasa die. And then there's little me, little Simba, just watching. And you wanna know who fucking Scar is?
Joey Logano.
NASCAR!
Oh, NASCAR.
And to a lesser extent, Matt Kenseth. There's something with him at that track.
Well, we want
God
to see
damn
him
it.
again. Ross is
But
going
okay.
to the 42.
Yeah.
So points-wise, Dylan, you're not looking good.
So I'm done. Let's not even talk about it. It's
We'll
120 to 108. So
we will reconvene next week. We're still going to give our picks, but we'll go over overall points next week to see where everything's shaked out, and we'll see if we can beat that next week.
Chase Elliott won the race, by the way. I don't know if that ever got brought up during our
No,
Kevin
I don't
Harvick
think it did.
discussion.
We really did. I'm very happy.
He ran a really good race.
He did, and he had what's really awesome was the jack band play.
Oh,
unreal on that move.
That dude is the MVP of the season.
He saved their championship hopes, right?
That dude should get the NBA Finals MVP if Chase wins next week.
He knew he fucked up. He knew the rule, unbelievably knew the rule because I didn't. Even Steve Letarte and everybody in the booth's like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like they had no clue that was even a rule. And
that's some like Bill Belichick next level thinking.
Next level
fucking
thinking right there. I fully agree. And in NBC posted the actual rule on their Instagram. And because at first I'm like, okay, maybe they're just favoring Chase or something. I don't know. It'd be stupid, but NASCAR does have it in their rule book. NBC posted a picture of it because I'm very glad they did because the wording of this was great. Let me pull it up quick. I believe it was NBC NASCAR that posted it. See if I can find it. Here we go. Here is it. Crew members' feet and or pit equipment must not touch the pit road surface before the vehicle is 1 pit box away from its assigned pit box or the equivalent marked distance. Should a crew member's feet prematurely touch the pit road surface prior to servicing a vehicle, said crew member can reestablish their position back to or behind service wall prior to servicing the vehicle to avoid penalty. Like you said, some fucking Belichick shit here. The rule, like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, you could just reset it and you're good. I mean, I like that they put that in there because him going back is a penalty enough because they lost 7 or 8 spots on pit road, and I think that is a harsh enough penalty than to have to start at the rear end of the field and then have to work your way all the way back up.
I mean, it's like it's almost like it's not the same thing, and it's not a complete metaphor, but it's kind of like when I was watching a Patriots game last year. I think it was their playoff game against the Titans, and he just like they were about to punt, and they were going to punt, but it was like such a kind of iffy punt. They just kept getting delay game penalties.
I saw that to keep
to move it back,
rolling the clock,
so the punter could just fucking let her rip.
Well, they did that too to let the clock roll in,
yeah,
because it was the end of the game. Mm-hmm. Towards the end of the game, and they did it, delay game.
I mean, they can
40
only
seconds off.
They can only do that once, but they wanted straight 40 off.
Yeah,
they didn't want like 38. I'm gonna call a timeout. They wanted to take that penalty, delay game, clock resets, push it back more.
Yeah,
it's just like it's when strategy gets so like bad. Well, okay, so that was awesome strategy that crew member did.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the Belichick, that was like, okay, guy. Because Vrabel did it too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
I mean, you're within
I'm
the rule
watching
book, but
nerds
it's fucking
fight
annoying.
now.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, can somebody punt the fucking ball?
You know what? That's a competitive advantage by knowing the rules. And they just baffled by this. At first, NBC said, oh, Chase Elliott has a penalty, crew member over the wall too soon. And then they said, well, maybe not. You know, well, he came back and touched the feet, blah, blah, blah. And then NASCAR never said it was a penalty. I think NBC was just wanting a story.
Jumped the gun.
Yeah.
Rick Allen.
Oh, fucking Rick.
God, what did I send you during that race where I'm like, you know, Rick Allen, sometimes you can be the best by being the worst. I'm scrolling through the phone because I got to find this. It was great. I'm like, you know, sometimes, like, by being the worst, you could be the best. Rick Allen just, like, accidentally just destroyed somebody.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh, I can't wait for it to go back to Fox. I can't wait for Clint to be in the booth.
So I remember, Corey LaJoie was running 15th. And Rick Allen just said, yeah, they never run up here. Yeah, they're not used to this.
That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm like, damn, dude, this guy's a free agent. He's got it all on the line. He still doesn't have a ride.
And you're just saucing him right on live TV. I do remember that.
God. You know, sometimes, like, you can hate the guy, but you also have to love the guy.
Yeah, I could say that.
Yeah.
Well, all right, going into Championship 4 weekend. 3 championship races. What are your Well, I mean, trucks is trucks, right?
Yeah.
Who are you going to pick?
I want Sheldon Creed to win.
I do too. I fully agree with
I
that.
think that he was
kinda
the best
pulling
driver.
for Sheldon Creed. I agree.
I think he was the best driver. If Zane Smith gets it, it's still a good championship.
I do like Zane Smith, but I do
I've
think
barely
Sheldon Creed,
watched the season, and I've been
I watched
pretty.
what I can.
Yeah.
I watched the race Friday night. It was a good race. But I try to watch when I can, but Fridays are just too busy for me. That half the time just forget the race.
It's a tough night to watch racing.
Yeah, I like it because, I mean, what else do I do Friday?
And I mean,
But
I'm gonna be
also,
honest with you. I like Sheldon Creed, but he's not a big draw to me.
No,
Matt
he's not
Crafton
either.
is my favorite truck driver, but he's not a big
Yeah.
draw. Also, he doesn't win a lot, so.
Yeah, that's true. I was rooting for Sam though.
Mm-hmm.
I was rooting for Sam. He's our guy now.
Yep. I mean, he is.
He is our guy. I was rooting for Sam. I hope we can get him on the pod this winter.
Yes,
That'd be so
that
awesome.
would be awesome.
That would be sweet. Do a little quick interview or something, or just talk
Shoot
about
the
random
shit.
shit. I don't
Yeah.
care what we do. Honestly, we don't even need to talk about racing for all I
Talk about
care.
the Packers, Bucks.
Oh yeah, whatever he wants to
Anything.
talk about. I'm assuming he's a Packer fan. Hell yeah, why wouldn't you? be?
Probably.
Yeah, we can talk about the Packers.
Good
Whatever you wanna do.
Wisco boy.
Good Wisco.
But
Talk about some cheese, some beer, the usual Wisco stuff.
and now the interesting thing is the Xfinity series.
Absolutely.
Because it is a all-Geyer track. But Briscoe is the Harvick of
The Xfinity Series right now.
series. He just got lucky and he finished first at Kansas.
Yeah. Well, he had a just great race.
Yeah. But I mean his engine blew up at Texas, right?
He did, yeah.
And then he was already kind of locked in, so it didn't matter too
Yeah.
much at Martinsville, but I didn't
hear
his
a
name
lot.
at end
No, I didn't
at
either.
all during the end.
I did not either.
But
God, I want. There's two things I want out of this. I want Justin Allgaier to win because Justin Allgaier is one of my favorite Xfinity drivers.
see now I gotta disagree with
But
you
hold
hard
on.
on that.
But
It's not
I
his year.
need Briscoe to win because he's going to the Cup. Because he won't have another chance, and I think he deserves it.
Oh, he definitely deserves it. I mean, Allgaier, in reality, next year should be his year because Austin Cindric is. I like Austin Cindric. He's my second favorite Xfinity driver right now. But Austin Cindric, I can fully acknowledge that he's a lot weaker than Chase Briscoe is. At least right now.
Yes.
I mean, he had an insanely hot streak, and it was
hot streak.
a fantastic hot streak.
Absolutely, not just
But
rain.
I mean, he has moments where it just kind of seems like he's living off the back of that
Yeah.
hot streak, and he kind of is. And I mean, he deserves to because he was so fucking great for that 6-7 week stretch. But like with Allgaier next year, they're still going to run at Phoenix. He's probably going to go into that being one of the top 3 drivers anyway, along with Justin Haley and Cindric.
I agree.
So
I don't. Let
I
me say
am
this.
definitely-
I don't want Justin Haley to win. I'd be okay with Allgaier or Briscoe, and I want Austin Cindric to win, but I want him to win next year.
Yes,
Because I want Briscoe to get it because he definitely deserves it.
and here's the weird thing. Okay.
And one more quick note.
Okay.
I'm
Go.
sorry to interrupt, but we are doing a podcast next year because Brandon Jones didn't make it to the
Fuck
championship.
yeah.
car.
Fuck yeah. I mean, I'll never call him a bad driver, but I didn't want him in that top 4.
Neither did I, and he wasn't.
You
so
sure didn't.
I know I didn't. I
put
put
it on the line.
on the line that I knew he wouldn't win it.
I'd have to find Kyle and sober him up. Side story that I can tell at the end, I hung out with Kyle on Halloween night.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later.
What were you, sorry
But
for interrupting. I just wanted to
I want to say
point that out.
that the Xfinity went how I feel that the Cup should have went. Now, the Cup, the more that I think about it, it should morally be Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, and Brad Keselowski. They were the best drivers
I agree.
this year. And with Xfinity,
Yes.
we got that almost in the order to that. Or, I mean, well, the order really
Pretty
doesn't matter
close.
anymore. But Justin Haley was probably the 4th best driver. I mean, he was good.
He definitely
He never
is.
won any non-super speedway tracks, but I mean, he won 3 super speedway tracks. And he was pretty good at road courses and 1.5s.
He was still there. Like, he was still relevant. It wasn't like he was 30th, right? He was still...
He was
there's
always
Justin
getting
Haley.
top 10s,
10.
basically.
Yeah, top 10. He was still there. He didn't win, but he was still there,
He
right?
kind of picked up where Gregson left off in the midseason.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
Also, can we talk about how hot Harrison Burton's been? Damn.
Oh, good point.
Where was this?
Where the fuck was this when he was in the playoffs?
I mean, he went out the same round that Riley Herbst went out.
Yeah.
They are not the same.
Not even close. Harrison Burton is 20 times better than Riley Herbst. And like you said, where was this when he needed it? Mm-hmm. Where was this when he was
if he
in
can
the
get through that round of 12,
yes,
he can.
He has a shot.
Yeah.
Next year in the Final Four, he can.
It's kind of amazing that Ryan Sieg made it over him.
Good point.
I think Ryan Sieg is like a fairly good small.
He's
driver.
Good for the team.
Yeah,
good for the team, but
he's that Jeremy Clements. Like he
is. Yeah, yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah,
surprising, but still, Harrison can make a run next year. We'll talk about that in our preseason picks.
Ooh.
In the spring.
He's going to be a favorite.
February. He will.
He's going to be a favorite,
but they'll be coming later. Mm-hmm. So
you want to do a pick'em?
Who is your Xfinity pick'em? That's where I was leading. Who's your Xfinity pick'em?
I am just.
You know, you can't win, but you're still last. So
I'm picking Briscoe. Now, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be Allgaier, but I'm picking Briscoe because it deserves to be Briscoe.
Okay.
Because Briscoe he's the best driver, and I mean that 10 is the perfect number. And it will also be kind of insane that he would have won like almost a third of the schedule. Like if he would have never hit oil during that one race.
That's true.
Or his engine doesn't blow up at Texas, he probably gets an 11th win.
Yep.
And he's probably won a third of the schedule.
That's just
so it's only right that he should win this race.
I could agree. I'm going Allgaier. I have to.
Your boy.
He had the best car at Richmond, which is the same car that he's bringing to Phoenix. I think he could do it. I think he's run well there before. And he's been, I wouldn't say hot, but he's been pretty good last few weeks. So I'm going Justin Allgaier. That's who's my Xfinity pick'em.
He's a good pick, and like if he wins, I don't think that
I'm not in any way going to be upset if he wins. Yeah, because I want Justin Allgaier to get a championship. I do. Mm-hmm. I really do.
I really think that he should, and he deserves to, and he's young. And honestly, I want to see him at some point in his career.
34.
Well, he's like fairly young. Or he's old for Xfinity, but like he's going to race for another 7-8 years.
Yeah, he will.
So I mean, I think so, but I would like to see him get a second chance at Cup at some point too.
Mm-hmm.
Just with a Chip Ganassi type team.
I think if you just give the middle fingers to Austin Dillon and put him in that 3 car,
yes,
he might win a race.
Like a 3-4 star team.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go to Penske. He doesn't have to go to Gibbs. He doesn't have to go to Hendrick for whatever Hendrick is. Because Hendrick is in that weird middle spot where the only guy that's really producing is Chase Elliott. But I mean,
Alex Bowman can do it. He's been very good.
He hasn't put the wins together.
No, but he's put the finishes together. Like, he's still going top 5. Mm-hmm. He's just one turn away from picking off a few more wins.
Also, it took him like 8 laps to pass Ryan Preece, and that still is eating me away at the Roval. Because, I mean, Ryan Preece, he's probably a little better than his equipment at this point, in my mind. But, like, he's also in that equipment
for a reason.
Not even for a reason. He's just in that equipment. Like,
you should be passing him.
Yeah, you don't really win races in that equipment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But yeah, now let's talk a little Cup.
One, I'm very sad Jimmy did not win a race. And I know he's not going to win Phoenix. I've accepted it. I honestly thought...
I think his best chance is they rain delay it. Or they rain shorten it, and Jimmy just happens to be in the lead. And that is the ultimate burn it all down scenario, I just want to say.
Yeah, there's no way. And you know what? I've accepted that a while ago. If he made the playoffs, he potentially might have won in the playoffs. Who knows? But point being, whatever. I at least get to watch him in IndyCar. This isn't his overall end of his career. If he was overall ending his career, I would be very sad. But
it's just a new chapter.
It's a new chapter. He's going
to
IndyCar.
New chapter in the
I get to learn what the fuck IndyCar is. Honestly,
report back to me, Matt.
Oh well, you're forcing. You're coming with the Road America race.
I'm kind of stuck.
You better learn what the fuck IndyCar is. Well, so anyway, if from my understanding, unless they change it, Chase Elliott should have the number 1 pit stall based on finish position because he won the last race, and that's 50% of the lineup. So great for Chase. That's a big advantage that I think NBC just didn't talk about at all. And maybe I'm wrong.
They're kind of idiots.
They might have totally changed it for the last race. It might just be a draw. I have no idea. But there's that, and I think that's great for Chase. I don't think Chase is going to pull it off. I don't. Going through each one of them.
I have some.
Going through each driver.
Yeah.
Going through each driver, I don't think Chase will win.
I think Joey. I mean, he won the spring race at Phoenix, and he's good at almost any track you put him on. Brad Keselowski, they're running the same package they did at Richmond.
Oh yeah, dangerous.
And I think they're running the same car too. And Brad, I think, has a little chip on his shoulder. Also, I really want to see Brad drunk again.
Yes.
That was
hilarious.
The greatest interview I ever saw.
By far, best interview. I was upset Jimmy didn't win, but boy, that was hilarious.
Oh my God. You got to be like Winston Churchill. You just can't ever give up.
On the flip side, I don't think Chase will win. Also because what you said, wasn't it... what was that stat you showed me? The winner before the election didn't win the championship?
Yes.
So
it's never
Chase
happened.
is cursed. He won't do it.
Never happened.
And you know what? If I'm a Chase Elliott fan, I'm okay with that. I'm happy he's made
you're just happy that he broke the round of 8 curse.
I'm happy he finally got there, right? Okay, he can do it. Big things next year, right? Love it. All right, big fan. I don't think he'll do it. Brad is bringing his same car as Richmond. And boy, was that dominant car. Same package, unfucking real. All right,
it would be the second longest
there
stretch between championships too, behind Terry Labonte.
But there are arguments for both Joey and Denny. Joey won the spring race. Mm-hmm. Now
that is Joey's argument.
He's
good at any track you put him on.
Yeah, and I think
he won the spring race.
And I think he had the most time to prepare.
And he will have 4 wins if he wins.
Yes, and just like in 2018, he won the first race in the round of 8, and then he went on to win the championship. I think Joey could do it, right? Joey makes a case. Just like Brad.
Yep.
Now go to Denny. Denny's had a great season this year. Boy,
he's good at Phoenix.
He's had the
best season of the remaining contenders.
Last year, fall Phoenix race, he won to put himself into the championship for. Denny can do it just like anybody
championship
else.
Round.
And now it's championship round. So I think you can make a case for all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Chase, you can throw Chase in there too. Chase can easily win it too. I feel like
shorter track. Chase is good at shorter tracks.
I just feel like there are better cases for Brad, Joey, and Denny than Chase.
And well, here's the thing. Okay, so Harvick, who's I know we spent the first 30 minutes talking about it, but Harvick was the most deserving. Denny was the second most. But honestly, if Joey wins, Joey would have 4 wins, which would match Chase and Brad, and it would kind of be even.
Even in a way.
And you could kind of Joey. It wouldn't be. I mean, the championship this year is already ruined for me, but it wouldn't be any more ruined if Joey were to win over one of those other 3.
Right.
Assuming that Denny doesn't win.
Right.
And I want Denny to win, but I'm picking Brad because I just fucking like Brad. At this point, I just got to pick my favorite driver, which I am. I think that he's got a fucking fantastic car that he had at Richmond, and I want to see him drive. I mean, like, Miller Lite sponsored Miller Lite sponsored the Coke 600.
And he won that race, by the way. Come back, Miller Lite. I'm drinking it right now, damn it.
America, baby. He won it, and I just really want to see the return of that glass.
So do I.
That giant fucking glass.
Huge motherfucker.
The mega pint.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this race. Big weekend. All three. We got the Packers on Thursday, then we got 3 championship races, baby.
Oh, man. I mean, basically, I should just move into your place.
You could just live downstairs.
I mean,
I'll
hey,
charge
it's
you
better
rent.
than John's place. Sorry, John.
I'm going to have to charge your rent, though.
Oof.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, a lot coming on this week for sports. I'm very excited.
It's going to be awesome.
And then we got one more pod next week, and then
We'll
break, and then we'll reconvene with some off-season stuff. We still got plenty planned.
We're thinking about doing every other weekend. We're going to do a Talladega Nights
We have committed
review.
to doing that. We will watch it multiple times, and we will do a review.
We're going to try to get Sam Mayer on the pod.
We're shooting for it. We're really giving her an effort. We're going to try.
Yep.
We got, obviously, next season picks. I think we should go through
maybe
a preseason. I think we should go through a preseason playoff. 16 drivers, and I think then we'll go from there. And I mean, we got a lot of big things coming.
I mean, who knows? Maybe we just take a week and we look at the career of a driver or something, or maybe we bring our buddy Sam back and we just have a nice pod where we shoot the shit, talk a little pop culture, a little how our lives are going. Share a couple of stories. Kyle and the skunk hat. Kyle, I went out with him on Halloween.
Yeah,
because none of my friends wanted to go out. They were all scared of the pandemic, or they had to wake up early in the morning. A bunch of pussies. Sorry, guys, but
didn't like that comment.
So
didn't like that comment, but it's fine.
Deal with it, Matt.
Dylan,
but
do you want to go there? Think about it.
Well, I'm not judging you. I'm judging the others.
Okay. All right.
Okay. You know who you are, guys. But anyway.
Okay.
Kyle invited me to South Chase, and he was wearing his fucking skunk hat.
I did see that.
This guy has
that on Snapchat.
This guy has a dead ass Daniel Boone skunk hat.
Full on.
And he wore it to bars. And then, of course, I went to Quick Trip to get cash because I know that the bar that he was going to didn't take a card unless you had a certain amount.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't usually go to that bar. So it might have changed since then. But then, nope. I ended up going to his buddy's house, who I hadn't talked to. Ben Bukovich.
That fucking guy.
That fucking guy. Yeah.
Huh, all right.
So then I went to his house, and I had a couple of Miller High Lifes. And I just ended up in his shed. And he's got fucking 10 trucks. He's just got trucks in the rafters, like old 40s trucks, just in the rafters. He's got 6 snowmobiles. He's got 30 tractors. I'm sitting there just buzzed, kind of leaning on stuff. Maybe a little drunk at a point.
Yeah.
I mean, I had plenty of time to sober up. Well, Kyle and Ben just talked about tractors, and I tried learning about tractors. But it was tough.
Are you a red guy, green guy,
that'll
a blue
sober
guy,
me up quick. Well, I found out that there's other brands besides International, Harvester, and John Deere.
That's why I said
Oliver.
orange. Well, Oliver's green.
Yeah, Oliver's green.
That's also. I love Oliver tractors. My dad had one. He sold one last year. Anyway, blue, New Holland, blue and yellow.
He
orange.
ironically didn't have a New Holland,
Really?
but he had almost any other
orange?
kind. He had some Russian tractor too.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I have no idea.
I think it was Belarus, but I don't think it was pronounced
an old.
Belarus. It was weird. It was orange, by the way.
It was.
Yeah.
Or Minneapolis Moline. Those are big around here too.
Yeah.
Or
Skidoos.
Well, those aren't tractors.
No, I know, but snowmobiles.
Snowmobiles, yeah.
Polarises.
Yeah.
I tried telling him about the snowmobiles that my dad just bought, but
yeah.
also I didn't know anything about snowmobiles that my dad
that
just
makes
bought.
sense.
So yeah, I just felt lost. But anyway, I have a buddy that wears a skunk hat in public.
Good for Kyle.
Good for
We
Kyle.
gotta get him on the pod.
The fucking guy's just living his life. I love
We
it.
need him on the pod.
Yes.
He would be a hoot.
All right. Anyway, that's on off-season stuff. We haven't done pick'em yet. So what's your picks? I know it doesn't really matter.
Brad, straight parlay, Penske, Ford. I got nothing to lose.
Penske, Brad. All right. Well, I'll go full parlay too. Brad's my pick, but fuck. Well, I'll go Joey. But I won't go. No, fuck it. I'll go Denny. I'm all in on Denny. I get 15 points if he wins from the picks I made, and I'll go all in to say he's going to win again.
Parlay.
Straight Denny H, baby. JGR, Toyota. Only Toyota. See, with your Penske, you got two chances. You got Joey and Brad. Anyway.
But I barely get
got-
shit for points.
Yeah. We got another pod next week. Season recap.
The mega
Race
pod.
recap.
If you listen to one pod this year, and if you tell your friends to listen to a pod, please make it next week's pod.
Any pod. Just tell them to listen in general. But,
Matt, our pod next week is going to be so good, they're all going to subscribe.
I hope so. I really do. So next week, we'll go over season, championship, the whole 9 yards. All coming next week. Rate, subscribe, tell a friend, missinggearpodcast@gmail.com. Get a shirt, sticker, whatever you want. Let us know.
Just hit us up at the
hit us up.
Gmail.
And thanks for listening, guys.
Yep. Bye, guys.